There we are.
We've been having some technical difficulties.
Thanks for bearing with us.
Yes, we know you were all anxiously awaiting. Welcome to Finance Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share this out right now because there was a very important... Whoa!
Every time.
Not every time. Not
every
like that.
time.
Not like that. This is Finance Friday, the show where we transform your relationship with your money by giving you the information you need to grow and protect your wealth. I am Amy Novakovich, and this is Ryan Wilson.
Hey, everyone.
And there is an important act that I was just saying that was passed in December and active now in January that changed up retirement rules. So it is going to change and affect your retirement money. So we are going to go over not all of this, but I have a lot.
Yeah.
On what the Secure Act changed. It's called the Secure Act, right? So that's why I say, share this out. Why won't it let me share? Oh, right post. I still don't know how to do Facebook that well.
Yeah, it's only been around for, what, 15 years?
Anyway, I don't know. So share it out so we can help everybody on the facts of the Secure Act and what it means for
This will affect everyone.
This will affect everyone. That is indeed true. So it's kind of what we've been waiting for. Everybody wants the government to kind of step in and be like, hey, man, you're using our Social Security, and what are we going to do about our retirement? Help us out. So then everybody is like, you know, we're on our own and there's no more pensions. So what are we going to do? So they signed a bill saying that they want to help with retirement. They are trying to encourage people to save for their retirement by helping employers and also changing the age on some things, on the restrictions, changing the way things are taxed, all kinds of stuff. So we have lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with?
You go first. You pick one.
Okay. Let's see. First things first, the required age right now that you have to start pulling out of IRAs or retirement accounts that most people dread, and that's why they do a Roth, is because they say, oh my gosh, I have to start pulling money out of my IRA at 70 years old, 70 and a half. They bumped it up to 72.
Yeah.
So now you can wait.
Let your money grow a little bit more.
Let your money grow.
And I think the point of this is that people are living longer, people are working, like 70 is the new 65. Right. And so I think it's just kind of pushing it back. It's not requiring people that are, you know, potentially still feeling young and working to be like, well, I have to take money out. So right.
Well, and then you're taxed on it. So if you are still working, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're adding income when you don't need it. You're still working. Yeah. So this is a huge thing for those that are under the age of, I would say 40. You have a good chance that now that they're focusing on this, that maybe they would even up it again. So you might want to reevaluate if you're doing Roth or traditional, because again, if you're not forced to pull out money until the age of 72 and you have enough other money that you don't have to pull from this stuff, a Roth might not be your best bet. You might want to take that tax deduction. So either inquire with your tax professional, and I would get two opinions because like sometimes our opinion even differs, and just to have a debate and different opinions makes a lot of sense because this is a big deal. Yeah.
And it is only effective if you turn 70 and a half after January 1st of 2020. That's so correct. If you were 70 and a half before that, then you're still having to do your required minimum distributions. Very good point. And if you're after the first of this year, then you're 70 and a half after the first of this year. You can wait another 2 years. And I think that's it, and that's important because getting that right, you know, there's a lot of penalties if you don't take it. And so you want to make sure that's right. So talk to somebody to make sure that you're getting, if you're around that age and you're confused about it, talk to somebody, talk to us, message us. We can help you.
Or if somebody says, you have to pull out your RMD this year and you turned 70 and a half
yesterday,
then you tell them, you know what?
I don't think you're right.
I do not actually. I did not have to do that. Or if all of you watching, if you're not 70 yet, but you know of somebody that is, or that might be, please spread the word and let them know, because again, this is a big deal and we save on taxes and we don't want to give more money to the IRS, even though they're probably listening to me.
Yeah. We're flagged now.
Yes, we're flagged. Sorry. Okay. Second one. So first one is they increase the age that you have to take your required distributions from your IRAs from 70 and a half to 72. Second one, let's see. What do I want to do? I think it's pretty important that you now, if you're a business owner, can start a 401k plan, and the startup costs for the first 3 years are a tax credit up to $5,000. So they are incenting. So if you work for a small business or if you are a small business owner, either way, I would talk to somebody and say, hey, we can do a 401k and all your costs are tax deductible, because there's no plan that I know of, at least it shouldn't. If you're paying over $5,000 for your startup plan, that's ridiculous. You should absolutely call us. But $5,000 is a huge number. So that means 100% of the cost for plans that are put together smartly, intelligently, should certainly take advantage of this tax credit and give their employees a benefit. So again, if you work for a small business or a small business owner for the first 3 years, you would have a up to $5,000 tax credit for starting that plan, which is huge.
Yeah, that's good.
I think so. And they bumped out the tax deadline. This is another huge one. Not the tax deadline, the deadline to set up the 401k. So what happens is when you're a small business owner, you don't ultimately really know if you're going to owe taxes or not. You have kind of an idea, but most people don't even think about it until tax time.
Right.
Well, the deadline to set up a 401k plan is December 31st. So if right now you're getting all your tax stuff in order and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to owe taxes, I need to set up a 401k plan so I can get a tax deduction. You can't, because your deadline was December 31st. They changed it to
April 15th.
Yes, your tax filing deadline, or if you extended it, it would be October 15th. So now you have all this awesome time to evaluate. Again, if you work for a small business, please inform them of this, because if they've been even considering a 401k, you should let them know, like, you can still set one up for the prior year and get all the tax benefits.
Yeah, I feel like that was something that, like, every year is one of those, like, oh yeah, we'll do that next year, but then it's too late, so we'll do it at the end of next year, and then you don't think about it until January, when it's like, oh, I should have put some money away. But now we have to wait because I can't do anything for this year.
And I shouldn't say 401k. It's actually the profit sharing
piece.
But it's within a 401k, but we don't need to get that technical. But it's the profit sharing piece. The point is you can do a plan for the tax benefits. Hey, so, okay, I have all these notes everywhere and I'm going out of order. So the first one was they bumped the age that you have to take money out of your IRAs from 70 and a half to 72. The second one is you now have a tax credit up to $5,000 to start a 401k plan for the first 3 years. And then they bumped out the deadline to start one. Profit sharing plans, cash balance plans, defined benefit plans until your tax filing deadline. So again, you work for a small business or you are a small business owner, get some tax planning done now, like before your taxes are due. Okay, next one. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the 10% penalty that they waived for having a baby?
Oh yeah. So if you are having a baby or you're adopting, you can withdraw from your 401k retirement plan, whatever retirement vehicle you're using. You can withdraw up to $5,000 for having a baby or adopting a child, and it will be penalty free. You'll still have to pay your taxes because you're taking out of a retirement account, so the IRS wants their money, but there won't be the 10% penalty for taking that out, which is a pretty cool thing, because I wouldn't say that it's necessarily something you should be planning for, because if money is earmarked for retirement, it should stay to retirement. But things happen, and it's available. Whereas before it wasn't, now it is, and I think that's a really cool thing, especially for adoption can be really expensive, and so if you're wanting to do that, I think that's a really cool thing, and so I think it's just good that they're taking steps to waive
those penalties, because most of us, when we put money away into IRAs or 401ks, we're like, holy cow, our money is tied up until like 59 and a half.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of reasons. If you don't know them, we have a live that we did a long time ago. I can't remember. It was probably 2 years ago, on all the reasons on why the 10% penalty is waived. Or I think I did a YouTube video actually on that. It's on our YouTube channel, on all the reasons why that 10% penalty, if you need the money before 59 and a half, that it's waived. And this is an additional reason. And I know, like, we were just talking about it when I had my son 3.5 years ago, our deductible was $10,000.
Yeah.
So this would have been very helpful.
Yeah.
To be able to pull money out of your retirement account when you have a child.
Yeah.
And you just have to claim, it has to be within a year of adoption, the official adoption, or having the child, that you claim it on your tax return. So you could actually even use it the following year if you needed that tax
potentially
return.
Yeah. And I just think it's cool that they're getting rid of some of these penalties. I mean, I think that it should be hard, you shouldn't have every reason to just go grab your retirement money, because I think that they're also trying to help make retirement more possible. And so they shouldn't just like waive all penalties. But but I think in certain instances,
our own worst enemy.
Yeah, and so I think
if there is no penalty. Yeah.
So in certain instances, though, I think it makes it cool.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, look at you! She doesn't understand.
She doesn't understand, but hopefully you do.
Okay, next one. This is a huge one. Okay, well, let me review really fast because we've already went over 4. They bumped up the age that you are required to take from your IRA from 70.5 to 72. There's a tax credit up to $5,000 to start a 401k. So if you work for a small business or you are a small business, you can still start a profit sharing plan. Darn it, I keep saying 401k, profit sharing plan, cash balance plan, all that fun stuff, the retirement plans. They bumped out the deadline. Also the 10% penalty to take money out of your retirement accounts if you had a baby or you're adopting in that year. Okay, next one. If you inherit, so if your parents pass away and you inherit an IRA or a retirement account, before you could spread it out and take a withdrawal, like a lifetime withdrawal, and you wouldn't have to take a bunch of taxes, you know, because when you pull money out of those accounts, they're taxable, right? Now it has to be taken in 10 years. You can either take a little bit each year, 10% each year, because 10% for 10 years would be 100% would come out.
That's really good.
That's good. Good stuff. Or you can wait until the 10th year and take it all out. Or you could take chunks in years that you didn't have enough income. You have, you know, flexibility, but you have 10 years, even on a Roth, I think. Even on a Roth, even though a Roth is not taxable though, but you have to get that money out within 10 years. So this is actually a big money raiser for the government. So this is how I think they're offsetting all the costs of what they're losing and all the other benefits they're giving us.
Yeah, there are a few exceptions.
That's true.
And so if it's a spouse, you can still continue it through the lifetime.
Yep.
If it's a minor child.
If you have a minor child, right? No.
If the minor child is inheriting.
Right, if the deceased person has a minor child, yes.
And if the person inheriting has the disability, or if the person inheriting it is within 10 years of the person who is passing. So if someone is 75 and they pass away and you're 65 or older, then that is an exception to this 10-year rule.
If you're leaving it to a brother or a sister, sometimes they're less than 10 years younger than you, then they don't have to take it out within 10 years. So if you're inheriting money, again, because we got a lot of people hopping on, hi guys, share this out because this is a lot of good information that like nobody knows about because it happens so quickly in government. So share this out because this is good information. But if you inherit an IRA, you are now required to take it within 10 years of the time that you inherit it. I believe, I needed more clarity on this. This was one of the questions that I asked them on this webinar that they didn't get to. If you're already, if you already have an inherited IRA, I don't think you're forced to take the rest of it out within 10 years. Your grandfather.
I think this is just like the RMD being only applicable to people that are turning 70 and a half after it was approved. I think it's the same type of thing. It's
just people here moving out on forward.
But for sure, I think we should, if you were to ask us, we'll clarify that for sure.
For sure. We will definitely clarify that. Okay. So 10-year stretch. All right, let's review real quick because we got a lot of people hopping on. Hi guys, thanks for hopping on. So we are going over the Secure Act, which changed a bunch of stuff in retirement. First of all, you are now, if you have an IRA or a retirement account, you were before forced to take out money at the age of 70 and a half. Now it's 72. There is a $5,000 up to a $5,000 tax credit for starting a profit sharing plan, 401k in the first 3 years. So they're trying to incent more and more employers. So if you work for somebody and they don't have a 401k, say, hey, you get a tax credit for all the costs that you incur for the first 3 years. They're incenting employers to do it. Also, they bumped out the deadline, which means you have way more time to do tax planning to see if you can do a plan for the prior year. They bumped out that deadline, which is awesome. Before, we would receive a 10% penalty for withdrawing our funds on an IRA if we're less than 59 and a half, but now they will waive it if you had a child or are adopting in that year. And finally, if you inherit an IRA or a retirement account, you are forced to take that out within 10 years. Okay, I have a lot of stuff. You guys have any questions, please feel free. Is this a touchscreen? Oh, hi.
Hey.
Let's see. In-service withdrawals. Oh, the 529. This is a funny one.
Yeah, let's save that one for last, because and then we can see if anyone can come up.
Ideas, though.
Well, okay.
If
so
anybody can come up with a valid idea,
yeah,
just do it. Let's just do it.
Okay,
because we're already at 15 minutes.
Okay, so
yes.
So now it is available that if you have a 529 plan, which is a college savings plan,
yes.
and you have a student loan, you are now able to pay that student loan with the funds from a 529 plan. Now, that sounds
you're like,
at face, it's like, whoa,
fabulous.
cool, new rule. That's awesome. I can use my 529 for a student loan.
Yeah.
But if you have a 529, you most likely aren't taking a student loan, or if you're taking a student loan, you don't have enough funds in your 529, or else you would be using it for your college.
Correct.
So we can't figure out.
Well, we thought of one scenario.
Okay, we thought of one scenario
where
if you didn't know you had a 529 plan,
or if you just think it's not enough.
Yeah.
Like you think it's not enough, so you go out and you get both. You get student loans and you have your 529, and then you quit school.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, oh, wow. I have these student loans and I'm not going to finish. So I can use my 529 not to pay for future college tuition because I'm done.
Yeah.
And I can use the 529 to pay off the student loans. So we thought initially like, oh, wow.
That's kind of cool.
But it feels like it's a very unique situation.
Yeah.
Again, because like Ryan said, like,
if you have a 529,
you're not taking student loans because you've got college paid for.
Right. And if you do take student loans, it's because that 529 ran out.
Correct.
And so therefore you can't use the 529 to pay that student loan because there's nothing in it.
And even if you do take both in the beginning,
right,
you're going to use your 529s to pay for tuition, to pay for books, to pay for all you can. You might use your student loans to also live on it.
Right. But you're most likely
you're going to deplete the 529.
Yeah. So that's why let us know.
Yes.
Let me know your thoughts if you can. Yeah. It's
I'm not quite
It's just interesting because it's something that's being talked about, very excited about. And at first we're like, okay, yeah, we kind of bought the hype, but then.
Yeah. But then you think about it.
We can't figure it out.
But if you have a 529 and you didn't use it all and you used it to pay off your student loans because of this new rule, like within the last 30 days, it'd be really great if you could let us know like how that worked out. But I really think it's for people that quit college.
Yeah.
Smoking mirrors. Yeah. Not following? You mean not following, or you mean you have no idea?
No, I think she's saying like they're just putting it in there as like, oh, here we passed this other thing, but it's not really anything. Which is I just want to know. Maybe I don't know. I just want to know why they.
There's a lot of people that do drop out of college, so maybe it's a benefit.
But how many?
Because
here's one thing I thought of is that because I know from. Kids I know that went to college from when I was in college, that when you go to college, you are just bombarded with, credit card applications, you're like basically just like shoved down your throat. Like you need to get loans. You need to, basically
this is what you do.
Yeah. And so my thinking is that even if someone like knew they had a 529, they were like, oh, well, if everyone's getting student loans, I need that too.
Yeah.
And so that was another reason that I thought of. So it's more just like a backstop. Like if you did that, it's still giving you the opportunity to kind of fix your error without a huge penalty. So it's not horrible. It's just funny.
Well,
it's nothing bad. It doesn't hurt anything, but it doesn't really
unique.
Help.
It's not it doesn't deserve the hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe it does. So let us know if you can come up with something.
Yes, please let us know. Okay. Finally, I would say this should be probably our last one considering. Yeah. Okay. So I'll review at the end.
Yeah.
So that one was about the 529 being able to be used to pay off student loans. Finally, this is a pretty big one, especially for government employees. So before, if you were a government employee, you were not able, like at all, to get money out of your retirement plan. It's called a 457. So for those of you that are familiar with that, a 457, or if you know anybody in your family that works for the government, you were not able to get money out of your plan until you were 70 and a half. If you had a pension plan or a cash balance plan, it was 62. Now, even if you're still working for them, you are able to get out money at 59 and a half. So it's a little bit earlier. So if you decide that you need funds to, buy a home or move or,
renovate.
whatever, renovate,
go on
or
vacation.
Yeah,
whatever. It's your money.
Whatever the reason.
Yeah.
You now have access a little sooner.
Yeah.
Even though you're still working. So that was kind of a big relief. Too.
Yeah.
That's good.
And to go on with that too is that you can contribute to those plans, or an IRA.
Oh, that's another big one.
Yeah. So you can continue contributing to an IRA.
Before it was maxed out at age 70.
Yep. Now you even
Now
through
you can
70 and a
still
half,
put
as
money.
long as you want, as long as you're still working, you can put money into that IRA, which is
Another
pretty good.
One. Lots of changes.
So basically, they're wanting to incentivize the fact that people are still working longer, we're living longer. I guess that's maybe up for debate.
Yeah.
Based on mortality tables, but that's another video for another day. And we're not doctors, so maybe that's not for us to talk about. Right. But yeah, but people are working longer and people are fearful of retirement with talks of Social Security, whether it's going to be there. There's obviously people are unsure about that. So this is good stuff.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's a good start. And I think it's mostly important that they're just working, they're moving in the right direction. They're wanting to make retirement more feasible for more people. And that is good.
Absolutely. So do I need to summarize?
No, I think
I did it like 4 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you need a summary, then you can go back.
Yeah,
and see
just watch the video. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys, if you have any questions, obviously message us. Our website, noblewealthmanagement.com. Awesome hanging out with you guys on our Friday afternoon. And we will see you later.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.